esportsbets.com, the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone. We have over 200,000 users registered. Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.
All right, folks, welcome back. Moments away from our next set of best of 3 to get started. Waiting on Vici Gaming to come back, and we'll hop into it. Now, while we're waiting, I want to talk about the other winner bracket round 2 matchup that's going to be happening very soon here. IG versus Malaysia. Again, that's going to be on the secondary stream, twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit, with Coddle Guy doing coverage. What do you guys think about that matchup? That is a big one.
Both teams looked really good. I mean, IG just destroyed Alliance. Now, that game, too, just felt like one of those games that sometimes you just have games as a team where they just get away from you. And that game got away from them very early.
Yeah.
It was kind of later in the day, and they were sort of at IG's behest as to when the match happened, and they just got absolutely run over for Alliance. But Malaysia, to me, was in some ways the more impressive win, because they came into this tournament having not really had any results for a long time, either as individuals, Mushi, Ohio, as well as KYXY, or even as a team, because this team has not really been to too many LAN. I don't think they've been to any before Starladder as a 5-man unit. So it was, to me, a big opportunity for them to prove themselves, and they really did.
You know, Misery looks so different with this short haircut. I can't get over it. I'm used to the crazy, like Albert Einstein do.
You know who
He's
also
more
looks
serious
different
now.
Yeah.
You know who also looks different with a short haircut?
Who? I can't think of anyone.
LD.
He does look a lot different, doesn't he? Yeah.
The days of my dreadlocks are long behind me. What can I say?
Oh, my. There's the infamous Big Daddy.
He's looking at you.
Oh, damn.
He's staring into my soul.
Ice cold.
Go away, camera. Get that camera away from me.
And the Mad Captain himself.
But yeah, IG taking on Malaysia.
Oh, yes.
I feel like looking at that match, IG definitely come in as the favorites. Malaysia had a really strong showing yesterday, but I think part of it was the element of surprise. And I look at IG, Burning's much more familiar with Mushi. He's played with him for a long time. His teammates, I think they'll be a little more prepared as well, having seen Malaysia played pretty much the same style all 3 games yesterday. Aggressive, tanky tower divers, lane dominance, and just looking to over on their opponents very early. And I think IG also just matches up better against that. They like to play a very aggressive early game style themselves a lot of the time. So
yeah, that's a good point.
I think IG's a bit better equipped stylistically to deal with Malaysia, and they also are less likely to be caught off guard.
Any thoughts about that series, Sin?
It's pretty difficult to call. Like, after Malaysia's series yesterday, before I saw IG's, I was considering, like, no matter who Malaysia meet, I would think of them as the favorites. They were very impressive. I loved their drafting. I loved their approach to the game with playing aggressive and taking control of the map.
Especially in this version, because it feels like that's just not happening very often.
Yeah, it seems like they don't really care what version they play. I think it was also Mushi who said in an interview, SEA has its own metagame. We don't really care what everyone else plays, or something like that.
Yeah, there's some truth to that, I think.
I mean, they pull out some stuff we haven't seen for a very long time. Corelish Rack, Viper is not really that much of a popular pick in the West. We saw Alliance just play it. Undying, they did lose that game, but they still did pretty well with the hero.
I mean, very few teams in general are running a position 1 Lesh these days, and they made that work like a charm yesterday.
And that's an SEA thing. Musico was doing it for CSW.
Yeah.
I still think I'll give Malaysia the edge in that matchup. But it's probably similar. I said 60-40 for this, so then I can't really justify saying anything else than like 55-45, I guess. It's like a minor advantage, because IG did look very strong in the second game, but it's also like, who benefits most from the comfort zone thing, right? I mean, sure, IG know what Malaysia pick, like their style, but they don't know which particular heroes they're going to grab, because they have so many different heroes that just play out those roles that they can't really ban out the strategy, I feel like. So then it's about either playing a strategy that's really good against it, or just playing your own game and being better than their strategy against them. That's difficult.
The other reason I kind of like IG better in that series is I also feel like they're a really good comeback team. They have had some games in the Chinese scene where they're down a lot, like 15, 20k gold, and they're very good at holding high ground. I wouldn't say they tend to draft super turtley lineups by any means. It's not like that big god lineup back at DAC, but it's more that they just execute well when they're holding the base. So
Yeah.
I think that's where Malaysia, they tend to pick map control, but they normally don't pick the best late game. And they, honestly, a lot of these heroes that they pick are not that great at breaking the base. Like, Bristleback, I guess, is okay as a frontliner, but they tend not to pick the snipers. We did see the Viper, Leshrac. Those can work.
Omni Knight Jugger was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
But that was given the game. Like, that's not necessarily an amazing combo
Yeah.
for pushing towers, but it was very good for the draft.
Yeah, it looked very good in that game in particular. There was just no way. They just had no answer for the repel. That was the big problem there.
I feel like the
Batrider
biggest...
is going to be another interesting hero in that series as well, because it's I think it's Ohio's best hero. And looking at IG, if they end up on the back foot early, like that is one of the best heroes to help them turn the game.
So that's a series where I see Batrider just getting taken out straight away.
Banned or first pick,
Yeah,
I think, almost every
I
game.
think absolutely. Especially in China, just he's still a very prioritized pick, more so than I think out in the West. Big, okay. Some very creative signs out there.
Well, it looks like we're just waiting on Cloud9, or at least it appears that's the case.
Yep.
Well, they said to wait. Vici Gaming did not say they're ready yet, but we do have 10 players in the lobby. It seems like everyone...
I think Vici's back at their station. No,
they're
we're
not.
still waiting on Vici. Okay.
Well, I guess we're not starting just yet.
Yeah, not sure what the holdup is here. At the home court hero, Bone 7, hailing from
Ice Ice
Slovenia.
Ice needs his hot chocolate. I haven't seen very much here in Ukraine. Or, not Ukraine, Romania.
Yeah. Hot chocolate, do they have
I'm
that
so
here?
used to Starladder being in Ukraine.
Which country are we going to get?
I don't know, somewhere in Europe.
LD's lost and confused.
Save me.
You've got past the first stage, which is that Europe is not a country anymore for you. That's good.
I mean, to America.
I'm pretty proud.
I'm
Glad you were able to
I'm the
educate us.
stereotypical American. I
Yeah,
just
us
view anywhere that's not
Americans.
America as one big country.
So what do you guys think about the big announcement that came out last night or this morning, the major system for Dota? That's something Envy talked about in his interview a little bit and voiced some concerns about where the events would be and prioritizing a lot of fairness being #1 priority. Any thoughts about the announcement in general? I mean, it's still pretty vague, but...
It sounds awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like, for CSGO, the major system has undoubtedly been great for the scene, and it hasn't really prevented other tournaments from being successful. I mean, we have the PGL event going on here at the same venue as the Dota event. It's been packed. They've had some really hype games. I think viewership has been good, so if it's done right, I see no reason why it can't be just as good in Dota as it is in CSGO.
Yeah.
I think the one interesting thing, though, is where everyone wants to know where are these events going to be and who's going to be running them. And it's a little different in Dota. In CSGO, it's a very European-focused community, to a lesser extent North America, and it's really not played that much outside. There used to be a small scene in South Korea back in CS 1.6. There's a bit of a scene in Australia, Oceania, but it's just not nearly the same size as like the Chinese Dota scene, let alone SEA.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if I feel like it may be a different distribution of regions where they host the majors, but...
And one thing I'm really happy with that I'm hoping it will bring, and as it sounds, that's one of the really key things about it is more stability. Like there's a lot of, undoubtedly Dota 2 when it comes to teams and structure, it's been one of the most volatile teams.
It all revolves around that one big tournament.
Yeah, right. There's been like this one big tournament that everyone's preparing for, and that doesn't mean other tournaments don't carry any weight, but it's still, like TI has always been like the start and the end of the year, as it would seem in Dota.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of volatility leading up to it, and then when you come close, like 2 or 3 months before, teams start to stabilize. But now with these Masters being what I will imagine they like grant some sort of qualification to each other, and maybe leading up to the international, and having multiple big events during the year will encourage teams to be more stable with their rosters, to keep working as a unit to try getting better and staying relevant instead of just shuffling all the time, and then having these established transfer windows that I'm imagining will be the case where
it makes it more interesting for not only for the teams that promote stability, but for the fans it makes it more interesting as well, because a lot of people were kind of disappointed when Navi and Alliance changed their rosters after TI4. Then we saw the rise of Secret, and it was an exciting team for some people, but there were a lot of voices of, man, that's my old favorite team, and now they're gone. And at some point, those top teams are going to move on, but you hope it's fewer and farther between that it happens, so you have someone to like actually latch on to and root for in the long term.
It's easier to follow and get engaged in the scene when you feel like there's some sort of chronology through the entirety of the year where you can like follow a gradual development instead of just having like this one focal point and then everything else just seems a little bit scattered.
It just balances it out more. I mean, after TI, it's like teams historically disappear for like 3-4 months. I mean, Newbie basically took a vacation until DAC. They actually did pretty well, even though they weren't practicing much. But
yeah. All right. Well, interesting stuff, boys. Thank you for that as we now move into the draft of Cloud9 versus Vici. We've actually got game 1 underway here. So we'll be able to hop into the draft momentarily here and see what these initial bans are. And, well, we're seeing some familiar faces.
Now it's decision time here for Cloud9. Do they want the sniper or do they want the Zeus? Or will it be the YOLO?
Or the Troll.
Trollo.
Trollo.
I'm actually surprised. I thought that was going to be their third priority out of these 3 heroes to pick from, the sniper, Zeus, and Troll.
I would have thought so as well.
Interesting.
Now,
I definitely did not expect Vici to take this, but it's normally not a hero that Cloud9 prioritizes all that much. Now, that said, 2 of the best heroes to deal with Troll are out of the pool. Batrider as well as Beastmaster. So
I think Sniper matches up against him really nicely.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that earlier. The Viper actually can do pretty well, though. He's a little more situational.
Yeah. I think Vici want to decide what super wants to play here, Zeus, and I think Lion might be on this priority.
Are we going to see a total switcheroo where it's Vici Gaming taking more of these vision and pick-off type heroes?
The one thing that's pretty valuable about grabbing Troll is how it pretty much, like, it's not a hard counter as such, but it's a really good hero against Phoenix. So if they're considering that Vici Gaming might be looking for that Phoenix for SSIs in the first phase, this is going to discourage them from grabbing it. Of course, Battle Trance makes everyone destroy the egg very quickly.
And it also kind of protects their own Phoenix pick if they want to go for it at some point.
Yes, it does.
As, well, apparently we're doing a little Wikipedia right now. Just kidding.
Oh, I wonder who that was.
Nice camera.
I blame our noobcasters.
Yep. Yeah.
So they go Zeus here, but they often run this hero.
Purge is just looking at us like, what?
What is wrong with all of you?
So they often run the Zeus as a support, I think is worth mentioning for Vici Gaming. I haven't seen them run this as a core all that often, occasionally for Super, but I think more often than not it's been FY playing it. So I guess that is the question mark, though. We've talked about it earlier with Phoenix for Cloud9, where you don't really know how the Phoenix is going to be played. Can be that support for Big Daddy, can be the Bone 7 here in the offlane. They have that flexibility. And I think it's to some extent the same with Zeus, but most likely if you're Vici, you're expecting, or if you're Cloud9, you're expecting this to be a support.
Well, Cloud9 should be happy with this. They're able to second pick their Phoenix. So that'll be Bone 7 to the offlane.
And you just never know how it's going to be played. I mean, it could still very well be a support.
I feel like Sniper matches up fairly well against Phoenix. He's very far away, has easy access to hitting the egg. He's a very natural Mask of Madness carrier to destroy the egg very fast. And when it comes to landing Fire Spirits as Phoenix, obviously your screen is only so big, right? And when you jump in, if Sniper is very far away from the fight and you have to, during your Icarus dive, you have to throw like 2, 3, maybe even 4 Fire Spirits and then use Supernova during the middle of the curve, that's very difficult if you need to hit targets in melee range and a Sniper who's like almost off screen at the same time. So I feel like landing Fire Spirits on Sniper and getting a good Supernova off in the same fight is very, very difficult. But of course, Bone 7, an expert on the hero, can make it happen. But I think, I don't know if Phoenix was actually the pick there, to be honest.
Well, it's certainly in their comfort zone, and there's something to be said for that.
They're also dire.
And yes, that too. And like you mentioned the other day, even if they kill the Phoenix while he's in the egg, that still takes focus away from the other cores. That's time the Troll Warlord can be doing a lot of damage. If the ultimate is up, all of the other cores as well. So there's some versatility there. Magnus now banned out by Vici.
The one thing Vici are really going to need here, it feels like, is some sort of frontliner, whether it's a Bristleback, a Clockwork. We saw the Centaur in the earlier match. Right now, Zeus Sniper, this is a very squishy backline that Troll and Phoenix can just feast on if they're able to get into it. So, well, they're going to see the Peel and the Brood banned out by Cloud9.
Smart bans from Cloud9. The Brood, always a pocket pick that Vici can pull out, and the PL, as we talked about in the pregame.
And all the best heroes for Hunting Brood are now banned, I would say. The Clockwork's not even that good for it. The Storm, the Batrider, both removed. So I think very wise, like you said, to ban this Brood.
Yep. Magnus from Vici, another pick that Cloud9 will go to from time to time. And they'll think about this 4th ban.
Yeah, with Cloud9, generally, when you see the Troll, the Juggernaut, these types of heroes, you expect a slightly greedier support, someone who can take over the lane when he goes to the jungle. The big support that's out there right now, which...
The Lion.
The Lion could be good for anyone.
I think that's Vichi's next pick.
They are going to have the first pick here, coming out of this stage.
They could also look to ban out a Skywrath if they want to take out support, another one that Cloud9 have run a fair bit in recent weeks.
There's not really any good setup for Skywrath, so then you'd just be picking it for his zoning potential, at least so far.
The one thing they need to keep in mind is we're kind of talking about it like Phoenix is definitely played by Bone 7. They have played it on Big Daddy. They even have in this tournament. That means the Clockwork is actually still available to be picked against the Sniper.
Very true. It's also
saw a lot from Vici Gaming. Pretty decent here for Vici. There's a lot more physical damage, so it feels like the split's a bit less effective. A lot of the popular carries build BKB. I think that's part of it as well. Sniper, Troll, like two of the big ones. Jug, to some extent, tends to have magic immunity or ways of dealing with what the Brew can throw his way.
And there's the Lion. So that's most likely your Misery hero there, something he's been playing a lot of.
He gets so much farm on support.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it much in the pregame, but I feel like that's one of the key things with Cloud9, and I think the Lion's the right pick here because it's a support that can really use the additional farm from the lane when the Troll goes into the jungle. So something we talked about before this pick, and I think that's the main reason why they want it here.
It's going to be very important for this Lion to get Blink. Also, I don't think it's very difficult to play Lion aggressively against a Shaker and a Sniper. You're going to walk into Shrapnel. And a Zeus, yeah. You saw Kuroki in the game against Alliance where he had a Force Staff first, but sometimes getting caught in Shrapnel until he had that Force Staff pretty much got him killed. Just the Shrapnel alone. Now there's a Fissure too and a Zeus ultimate. It's very scary playing squishy support against, and he will need a mobility item to put himself in position.
So what does Vici need here? Another support as well as another core. Well, pardon me, Zeus, the support, as we already talked about. So they need a set of cores here.
So what are some Ice heroes then we're looking at? I haven't seen him really play the offlane Earthshaker. Bristleback's a hero he plays on occasion. He does play some Clockwork. Phoenix, obviously he won't be playing this game. I'm trying to think what else. What else for Ice?
This is not a Timbersaw game in my opinion, for example.
No, definitely not.
Do they want to pull out something like a Tide?
No, they take the Jug for now.
If they were eHome, that's definitely what they would do. RTK's been playing Tide like every game.
So now this immediately makes me think Wisp for Vici Gaming. It's what they did in quite a few of the games at, I believe, DAC. They ran IO Juggernaut offlane.
So you think it could be a core Zeus after all?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm still considering the Zeus a core, actually.
And there's the Clockwork.
But no, wait a second, because if they do that, then Hao could just play the Sniper safe lane and they could put the Zeus in.
So it's like Troll +1 versus Jug Wisp. not really the best matchup for the Jug Wisp, but if they get at least some experience out of the lane, it's the
It's
main
pretty
thing.
difficult for Troll to actually kill a Juggernaut with a Wisp backup, and if Juggernaut maxes the Blade Fury, which we've actually seen at XII at least get 2 points in when he's playing with the Wisp in the offlane, it can actually put a lot of pressure. And a hero like Lion, if he gets caught by Blade Fury, he actually dies from full health.
Interesting final ban from Vici. It is that Brewmaster after all.
Yay, someone remembered Brew. Now they just need to remember Elder Titan exists too, then we're good.
Oh god, I forgot about Elder Titan. Oh,
Last few Elder Titan games I've had have not been pretty.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. Oh, I can't remember seeing an Elder Titan picked for months. Literally.
He was picked every freaking game by Secret, and then the nerfs came, and now we never see him.
Cloud9 thinking about this final ban, and they will ban out the Skywrath Mage.
So they're expecting the Core Zeus, which I mean that seems a little bit more likely at this point, I would say overall. And I just feel like the Core Zeus brings so much to the table. Like there's very few heroes that I think use farm better than him. Like who really uses it better when you get to ultra late game? BKB start to get low. You've got your Refresher, Bloodstone charges are starting to rack up. Maybe you even have a Hex at that point.
Aghanims, yeah.
Unless if they want to do the IO Juggernaut here, I actually think Silencer is a really good pick. Destroys Phoenix in lane if it is an offlane Phoenix. Very good at saving the fight when Clockwork engages. You can just instantly global and turn around on the enemy team. Also great against the Blink Lion.
But this is
They're gonna
Vici
get the
Gaming,
Rubik.
and they have FY,
It's Vici
so
Gaming.
they're going to take Rubik.
Okay.
Good prediction, Sid.
Yeah.
No, Silencer would have been a
play
good
Silencer
pick.
on occasion, I think.
Yeah, I
It does
agree. I
happen.
think it would have been a good pick.
Could have been a good pick.
So
but
how is Vici going to
Rubik's
set
great
up
against
these
Clock.
lanes, though, looking at this?
So
That's my big question.
I think probably we see the offlane Jug. They may give him a Fissure block early. I mean,
Okay.
have they ever run offlane Zeus? I don't really think so.
I
I
wouldn't
think that
say
might
never.
actually be a better choice to do that.
I want to say I saw XII do it one time.
Maybe it is an
It could
offlane
be the
Zeus.
offlane Zeus.
Could be a Hal Juggernaut in the safe lane.
Because they could get a
Sniper
hell of a
mid.
lot of farm on both Sniper and
Could run like
Juggernaut.
Zeus ES. That's not too bad.
So the thing with how Cloud9 has set up this draft is that it's apparent now that it is a support.
Okay.
It's got to be a support Phoenix, right? Unless if they run a roaming support Clockwork, but I really doubt that. So then whatever offlaner you put will be playing against a Lion Phoenix support duo, and it's going to open up a lot for the mid lane. Lion and Phoenix will have to stay there to keep Zeus at bay, or at least one of them has to stay. And Phoenix is horrible at ganking very early on, and he would be ganking for a mid lane Bristle. That doesn't work. So I think Sniper
Against
can
the
just get a free
Sniper,
lane.
especially. Like,
I
he's
think the
gonna be
best
so
laning
far
for
away.
Vici Gaming is to safe lane the Sniper, safe lane the Jugger, mid lane the Sniper, and play Zeus Shaker top.
So you've got Jug Rubik versus Clock. That can potentially
really
be a kill. He drops the cogs, you can drop him out of them.
Rubik owns
And you
Clock
can
in
Blade
lane.
Fury.
He is really good against
And he
Clock.
can't kill him ever unless he wastes his lift in a really silly way. So it is going to be the offlane Ice Zeus. And
think it's
they
good.
have the ES, so they can fissure block delay, and they'll pull it back a little bit.
Yeah.
He may struggle a little to get experience if the Clock...
I think they should just keep the Shaker up there, more or less. Or just keep him off the map so he can roam mid, or just keep Zeus safe instead of showing on bottom and just let Rubik
if
take
it's a
care.
Bristle mid, you're not killing it most likely. So
No,
there's-
that's true.
At least not until the Sniper gets sick. So there's little point in not being there.
All right, and with that said, let's hand it over to our casters, GoDz and Purge. Take it away.
Thank you, guys. Welcome to your winner bracket semifinals. It's going to be Vici Gaming versus Cloud9. I'm GoDz. Joining me is Purge. How are you doing, Purge?
I'm pretty good. Pretty excited to watch this game. It's the winner bracket leading into the finals of the winner bracket, and both these teams are really highly rated here, and it's going to be a really close game, I think.
Yeah, looking at the draft here, neither team really with a seemingly obviously draft advantage, and we'll see how things unravel as game one gets underway. We'll do some introductions here to get things started. Cloud9 going to be playing on the dire side. It's going to be your Romanian player, Bone7, on the Clockwork. We hear the crowd. You know, this is what the crowd showed up for today. We've got a full house here for the Starladder Season 12 Finals. This game here, Cloud9 in the house. We've got Misery playing the support Lion. Theron, or Eternal Envy, playing the Troll Warlord. Fata going to be on the Bristleback, and it leaves Big Daddy No-Tail on the Phoenix.
And for the Radiant team, we've got Ice playing Zeus towards the bottom rune, Super playing Sniper in the mid lane, FY playing Earthshaker. Fenrir actually playing the Rubik this game, and the final player is going to be Hao playing Juggernaut.
Wow, not having FY on Rubik. Feels like
That's his hero, man.
it is. We'll see what he does on the Earthshaker. I've seen him play a lot of Earthshaker over the past few weeks, and I guess deciding that he's more confident on this hero does require a bit more I don't know about finesse, but positioning's a lot more important on the Earthshaker than the Rubik in some ways.
Yeah. Plus he has a golden Grave Maul, so...
He's got the style point.
He really should be him, honestly. So it's a dual lane mid, I guess. The Earthshaker will sit mid, help sniper, contest ganks, things like that. We have 2 defensive wards placed by both teams on the mid lane. He might actually get a fissure block here. He does actually. Fought is blocked in, but he's just going to have to sit over here in the river, and then he can go back up. What
do you make of this? This is a Bristleback versus Sniper lane at mid. Fata, Bristleback, a hero he doesn't play very often, and this is a matchup you wouldn't normally get to see.
Well, he's completely out of mana, so things are going to get a bit tougher here. I feel like this is a good lane for Sniper, especially with the Earthshaker in the area, but he's got his bottle already, so I guess he's fine now.
Yeah.
But he's definitely going to have some lacking in last hit compared to the Sniper.
So a Sniper would probably look to bring out a fast Magic Stick, I imagine, with the amount of harass that's going to be coming out constantly from the Quill Sprays.
Yeah.
That's really Fata's only way to reliably last hit against Sniper. Every time he walks up, he could be getting headshotted.
Well, and on the safe lane, it is the tri-lane now. Looks like Earthshaker shifted over. The pull's blocked, though. They tried to deward it, but they did not predict the right position.
They're going for a lift here. Misery in trouble. Blade Fury to follow. He gets out of the Blade Fury, though. I don't think it's going to be enough, and Jug gets your first blood.
It's a big kill there.
Not expecting the Earthshaker down bottom, it seems.
No, they definitely saw him because he walked right past their Observer Ward. I'm sure they must have seen him. Maybe they got distracted, but... I mean, they need to get kills in this tri-lane, otherwise their tri-lane's going to get behind, and it's going to make the rest of their game very hard.
Yeah, they have managed to keep the pull camp blocked, so Vici Gaming do not have the option to pull things back using that camp. But take a look at the other lane here. 1v1 at top lane. XII is going to be taking on Bone 7. Clockwork versus Zeus, and so far pretty good for your Clockwork as far as last hits go.
Yeah, it looks like C9 predicted an aggressive tri-lane from Vici Gaming, which is why they put the clock here, but in reality, they were maybe a step ahead of themselves, or as reverse psychology, who knows, could be something crazy like that. But the lane setup doesn't look maybe ideal for C9 here. I feel like Clock versus Zeus isn't that great for Clock. Am I mistaken at this? I guess their CS is pretty even here, but I think it would have been safer to put the Clock in the off lane versus the tri-lane. Kind of depends what they want to do with it, though.
Yeah, as for the aggro tri-lane of Cloud9, it's probably, I would say, slightly better than what Vici Gaming have, although now that they've given up the first blood, Jug has boots, Poor Man's Shield, and a Magic Stick. That's going to quickly change. TP mid lane, there's initiation. Fata almost goes down, but it's a TP from Misery. Look to turn this around. Lion picks up the kill with a nice rotation, and Fata pulls him in, has his bottle coming back out, so he may not even have to go back to base to heal up.
It's kind of dangerous here because, I guess Sniper doesn't have any shrapnel, so he'll be okay, I guess. So, all right, so he sits mid, waiting for another bottle, and there it is. He'll be just fine. So that's a really big rotation there. If your tri-lane isn't going very good, but you can move across the map and get kills, it's giving you a big advantage. He's now shifting to the top lane. It's another lane where they could very easily get a kill. If he can get a Hex and an Earth Spike off and guarantee the Cog and the Battery Assault, that's a dead Zeus. Really good hiding from him.
Would have maybe scouted about a bit of the movement with the mid lane ward, but Misery so far not finding too much out of this lane. XII has gone for a pull onto this big camp, which will allow him just to sit back, pull the creep wave back to his tower, and play defensively. Cloud9 have abandoned the aggro tri-lane. They're going to leave No Tail down there as kind of an off-laner at this point, and it looks like Envy going to swing his way towards top lane, or possibly just the jungle.
He's a little too under-leveled for that, though, I think. They did actually grab the Satyr, which is a good little prize, but it's going to have to be Bone 7 rotating into the bot lane. Probably better that they shift immediately because the Lion was gone, and once you don't have 3 heroes, it's too scary to stay in the lane, so they could shift, do this slight adjustment here. Troll's going to have some level lacking that he will make up for in a bit, and we'll probably see Misery have a good game, I'm assuming, because he did get that 1 kill, so keep an eye on him. He gets really scary as a player when he does well in the early game. Here's the Hex, looking for the Earth Spike as well. There is not going to be a follow-up, so just some damage here. And actually misses the bolt.
He popped a Soul Ring and everything for that one.
That's 150 damage extra done by a Lion. Yep. That's good.
Yeah, the Soul Ring damage coming into play there. If he'd gone for an Impale, maybe could have seen some follow-up, but Envy far away. He's just looking to prioritize his own farm right now, as he did have a bit of a rough start down in that bottom lane.
Level 5 for Fata here on the mid lane. Once he hits his ultimate, he can become pretty scary, especially when he gets some Nasal Goo. He can chase, especially Sniper. If they get a gank that comes in, they can definitely kill this hero. A couple slows are not that big of a deal. Fissure makes a big difference, but a couple slows won't do everything.
Yep. So Phoenix going to start stacking up the Ancients here. One of the nice things with the Bristleback is he can farm up a big Ancient stack very early on, and he's going to have a fast level 7 with this solo mid XP and farm that he's getting. And At that point, he can go take the Ancients, and this opens up the mid lane for a support like Lion to get level 6, maybe the Phoenix gets level 6, so it just makes your overall team so much more efficient with the farm on the map once you can rotate one of those heroes into the jungle.
And Bristle can actually kill those so early compared to most heroes because he's reducing the damage by turning around, which just in turn makes more quills come out. So it's already really impressively stacked, 3-stack at 5 minutes here. If they can get a couple more, it's a big advantage.
Now at bottom lane is your top farmer with 30 last hits, 20 denies. He's had a very uncontested time down bottom. He's not level 6 just yet. Going for a 1-0-1 with stats build just to help boost up that mana pool more than anything. And he's going to be having a bit of a tougher time sustaining that mana pool against a Clockwork now who's going to be at the bottom lane with Cogs.
Yep, he buys his Sage's Mask. Surely it'll be an Aquila later. It's one of the better laning, get my mana up items. Yeah. Especially when you have low intelligence like Juggernaut does. It's relatively stupid. A bit of a dive.
Yeah, it's
they don't
casual
have 6,
harass.
though. Once they get hookshot, they can maybe get the skill. They're going to have to wait out the Blade Fury, though. So it's pretty tough. Like, if he cogs you in, you just Blade Fury for 5 seconds, cogs go away kind of a thing. So at most, they're just stopping him from last hitting for a while. Which
it feels like they're trying to bait out the Blade Fury just so he chews through his mana pool. If he has the Blade Fury, then by the time he hits 6, maybe there's a chance he doesn't have an Omni slash mana, which makes the lane a lot easier. But now, C9 have to kind of focus more of their attention towards top lane if they want Envy to farm it, because it seems Vici Gaming are chasing Envy around the map. Initially it was a trail lane bottom, now it's a trail lane top.
He's really under-leveled for the 6-minute mark as a carry, though. I mean, he's only level 4 here. He would love to jungle. A bit of a gank on Misery here. Oh, nope, no fissure. Almost could have blocked him in, but they didn't have the vision. Now they're shifting. They might still get him. There's a fissure. It's going to block him, but he can just run away. There's the slow as well. Spin comes through, and a TP from Fadi. He's got a haste through. This is a guaranteed kill. Might be able to get a second. They will chase. Doesn't have any slow. He might go under tower. He's got 7 stick charges. It's pretty dangerous. So, ulti comes in. Oh my gosh. Troll's going down.
Oh boy. Zeus ulti setting up the kill on the Troll, and the Phoenix went down in the shrapnel. Fata, as much as he wanted to dive that tower, if you're running at them, you don't have the bristle back. And at that point, Sniper just pew-pews you down. So
it looked like a potentially he could have maybe looked into, but it was just going to be
like
too
a
many
1v3 or 1v4
Jugs
bottom
gets
lane.
A solo kill.
Whoa, that's an Omni Slash. Bone 7 gives away his life. He did use the hook shot, but not enough to turn things around. Meanwhile, top lane, XII's getting jumped under the tower, but a bit too aggressive there, it looks like, and doesn't really find too much out of that. As well,
so many kills.
Envy, that's going to help him out a lot. He TP's back to the lane, gets a kill instantly, and now has what looks to be a fairly empty lane. Mid lane, meanwhile, Fata going in. Fenrir gets low, but it's Vici Gaming picking up the kill. Sniper's rotation in, allowing them to come out on top. Kills in all 3 lanes in quick succession.
No kidding. Everybody wants to make the kills happen. Once Eternal Envy does finish his Mask of Death, he's almost there. He can shift in the jungle full time, leave Misery in the lane. Misery's already level 6. This is pretty early at 8 minutes for a support hero, so very likely to see him pick up a smoke or at least rotate to gank somewhere. I think Sniper is a pretty good target personally. If you can catch him with your stun and your ultimate, a bit more damage is going to guarantee the kill. But getting into that range is sometimes tough, so that's why smoke is often very needed.
Yeah, and if you're just trying to swing your way towards a lane, there's a good chance to get scouted out by Ward. He does check around the T1 tower with a sentry, but doesn't find too much. And here's the soak you talked about. Clockwork, level 6 as well, has hookshot available. Hook Finger is a kill on almost anyone on the map at this point.
Yeah, they're going to have to land the hook, though. They're positioning, they're likely going to swing around this side of the map and wait for Super on the Sniper to hit in this area and then initiate, but it looks like they're going to go the opposite way. If they wait too long there, you don't always have that opportunity. This is one of the safer ways to go. If they go from the right side, then they not only can go on mid, but they can catch anybody in the jungle. And if you look at Vici's positioning right now, they're doing a smoke.
They may walk right into this one.
This is looking pretty good for C9. He's going to be able to grab both inside. Great Impale catching 2. Fissure's going to push him out, but they're taking the damage, getting low. Misery goes down. Oh man, Bone 7 even dropping. XII is falling low as well. Assassinate comes through and getting the Phoenix. 3 dead C9 heroes now going after Fata. Fata very likely to fall as well. Another fissure in 2 seconds. Jug shows up. They don't even need ultimates. That was a great fight for Vici. That fissure just pushed the clock out and guaranteed that no kills happened.
It looked so good when they hit the hook shot on both, trapped them both in the cogs with an Impale as well to follow it up. The Impale Finger, not getting the insta-kill with the finger, just spelt their own doom, because at that point Zeus got off his entire just kit of spells and managed to turn things around.
That was really unfortunate. We keep seeing No-Tail as well, just dying on the outskirts of the battle. It doesn't even look like he gets to start the fight. He just gets killed. Maybe he's too tunnel visioned on the fights, and then the sniper just drops a shrapnel. If his dive is down, he's dead. If he preps his fire spirits, he's already lowering his HP by 20%. Just, he's a very squishy hero against Sniper in a lot of ways. At many stages of the game, Sniper's a good hero against him.
Well, that gives VG Gaming a pretty sizable early game lead. 10 kills to 4. They're up by 4,000 gold and 3,000 experience after that one. There is the big Ancient stack waiting for Fata, and it looks like that may be where he looks to head next. As Cloud9 probably start to realize they can't take these kinds of fights repeatedly. It's just not going well at all for them.
The levels will help, that's for sure. More bristleback levels. But I assume Super has an item plan out. There's a Mask of Madness finish, so now things get scary. If the hookshot lands, the Sniper's in trouble, but even then, he's pretty safe. He has Fissure. Oh, Fata's in trouble. Look at that DD Mask of Madness. He just ripped through him.
That's brutal. And this is a level 11 Sniper. Just under the 11-minute mark. This is insane from Super. Phase Boots, Mask of Madness. Probably see something like a Sanjin Yasha coming in no time at all. Now he's going to start pressuring towers. There's an Assassinate coming from behind. No tail.
Jeez.
Gets down to 40 HP. FY almost in range for a Fissure. He was really hunting for that kill.
This pressure is so intense. Misery sitting on the bot lane, looking to maybe set something up. He's 36 to his ultimate, and it's a Juggernaut. Good luck getting that kill.
Yeah. That is a tough one. No Finger of Death is a big thing here. He's going to swoop in from the side. Hex is there, double TP as well. They'll get the Chainsum with the Impale. Have they got a follow-up here? It's Bristleback TPing in. I think Hal may look to turn this one around. Blade Fury TP, physical damage, not. Oh, just barely enough.
That was great. Woo. They TP'd the perfect heroes. They needed the physical damage. Yep. They already had the stun, a little bit of slow, and they guarantee a kill there as he is forced to TP with the great battle trance.
Still a T1 tower for Vici Gaming in the mid lane, so it's not all good news for Cloud9. They had to commit 3 heroes for that one, as they lose the bottom T1 tower as well. Does get denied by Fata, but it's like 2 towers for 1 hero kill and a lot of resources invested in Cloud9 to make sure they got that kill.
I think it was okay though, because they're pretty far behind. XII's in trouble. He does land the Fire Spirit. Sogranova as well. There's the Finger of Death. He's very low. Will he die? He does get picked off. Just barely. That would have been a tough chase for No Tail there. That was the last tick as far as I know.
It was the Supernova that killed him as well. The Fire Spirits had worn off. The Supernova was like right at the edge of the damage range, I think.
Very close. He actually did miss the Icarus dive there. Jumped up, but he did it on purpose. He went far behind the Zeus, made him walk all the way through the egg, and landed the kill. So that's a big 2 kills. Even though they did lose the towers, I feel like that Jug kill followed by the Zeus kill just got C9 back in this game. Sacrificing a tower or 2 when you're at that big of a gold disadvantage is not terrible, because you can always make up for the towers. You can eventually get their towers, assuming that the game is kind of close.
Yeah. Feels like Cloud9 are going to have to fight around some of these cooldowns, be it the Supernova, or I'd say even more importantly, the Finger of Death at this point. Because without the Finger, it feels like getting kills elsewhere is not that easy. Even with a Clockwork hookshot in, he hasn't really got good follow-up damage. And Cloud9 making kind of good use of their time. While the Finger's on cooldown, they were farming up the jungle, getting Bone 7 some more, farm some more items, and giving Vici Gaming some space as well. But I think that kind of suits Cloud9 just fine right now.
And they have the best Clockwork counters in the whole game in a lot of ways. They have Rubik, who can lift him outside of the cogs, and they also have Earthshaker, who we already saw just pushes people out. It's like, oh, there's no space in there. Sorry, you're out of the cogs now. Have fun. They're looking to initiate with their smoke. They do kind of know where he is. There's the Shrapnel. Fissure comes through as well and bursts it down so fast. He drops Echo Slam with the hook shot as well. Bone 7 solo now, just getting killed by Mask Madness right click. And they are just losing every fight here.
And again, the Assassinate almost kills off No Tail. He's been on the receiving end of a lot of these sniper ultis, and Vici Gaming find themselves with a big win there. They just got down that high ground observe order around Roshan, and that just set things up so nicely there. If they'd got there sooner, they could have even contested the big Ancient stack. So the good news for Cloud9 is they did manage to take most of the Ancients with Fata as well as Envy on the Troll, but it's Vici Gaming who come out on top and, well, transition into a Roshan.
Team Mask of Madness kills it very fast. Fire Spirit's going to reduce attack speed. Another headshot. What is he going to? He is going to Supernova on the high ground. They can't actually get here. This is possibly going to steal Roche. Maybe stun everybody. No, they do get the Aegis. Stun on Sniper. Sniper's going to fall almost for sure, but we need Fire Spirit's Omni Slash on the high ground. That's going to trap Hao up there. He's going to TP home, and that may be it. Chase isn't over, though. Misery's going in, looking for a Hex, but we have an invisible Earthshaker. Maybe a Fissure, slows here and there.
Nice full stuff. Gets super to the high ground, though. It's going to leave XII kind of stranded here without the mobility. It looks like Envy may just be able to bring him down with the slow. XII getting low turn. Bolts before he goes down, and it's going to be the Bristleback cleaning up. Fata, one more spray's all he's going to need.
Nice kills.
4 dead. Earthshaker, the lone survivor, but not for long. Bone 7 has got him. Team wipe for Cloud9.
What a great fight by them. Awesome setup from No Tail there, buys them time, forces the Aegis to be a waste, and then Fada comes in with his early gold advantage, that 2k gold that he probably got from the Ancient stack, and just got the stacks up, picked off enough heroes.
That was so much on No Tail there. He's like, look, I may not be able to kill them, but I can delay them.
Yeah.
Hit the Supernova stun.
Oh, and most importantly, Jug had to TP away, so he had to come from the mid lane instead. It segmented the fight, bought him a bit more time.
And it was Phoenix who got rid of the Aegis, so by the time the rest of Cloud9 showed up, there was no Aegis to deal with. You just had to kill the sniper once, and with Mask of Madness Yasha, this sniper is not very tanky. We're not seeing that kind of Pycat-esque build where you rush the Sanj, you get the more HP-focused items in. This sniper very squishy if you get on top of him, which Bristleback does just fine.
Super looking for the solo kill. No Tail's going to dive. Zeus ult as well, and Shrapnel, that should be it.
Yeah, no Supernova, unfortunately.
That's a lot of damage. A lot of range damage. You can't get away from the Shrapnel very easy, and then you also have the ult in the end. So, and that's offlane Zeus. He doesn't care that much about using his ultimate as long as he gets a kill. It's better if he kill steals with it, because then he gets experience. But
Radiant's middle tower is
they'll
under
push the
attack.
top lane, take the last tier
Dire's
1
top tower
for
is under
C9.
attack.
We have a haste rune on Bristle. We could do something with
Dire's
this.
structures are
yeah.
fortified.
Especially, they have weak lockdown. It's pretty much just Fissure and a lift.
XII will scout things out from the high ground here, and
TP's coming.
oh, they're looking to fight this one. He pops a haster, and now they're running in. The hook shot gonna miss though. Bone 7 gonna be pushed back as well. Lift up in the air by telekinesis. Now the sniper gonna go in, do a lot of damage with this Mask of Madness. No Tail has a supernova, but he needs to get the fire spirit, so gonna back off from the egg for now. Look to fight Fatu. He's got a haster, and the quill spray is gonna continue, but the chain stun from FY under the tower. Assassinate will get him low. Will it be enough? No! Bristleback keeps him alive, and Cloud9 get another good 2-for-1 trade, but with an Omni Slash arriving. How? Gonna turn it in for a 2-for-2, make it a 2-for-3 with Phoenix going down as well. Vici Gaming managed to salvage that one.
It's more like C9 salvaged it as far as I'm concerned. They missed that hook shot. They
Yeah.
really needed that to start the fight. When the fight began, it was closer to the tier 1 tower, which is much farther away from safety of C9. So the fact that they got 2 kills out of that, I think, was pretty decent. And they didn't lose their 2 important cores, the Bristleback and the Trolls. This means Fada's free to continue his Sanjin Yasha, one of the better Bristleback items, gives you so much mobility, synergizes very well with his plus damage ultimate, and he's going to be able to chase down even better. That haste was perfect timing, though. Like, really helped him clean up those kills.
And with as soon as that Clockwork hook and Cogs misses, that means Phoenix is not going to be able to lock people in place with a Supernova.
Yeah,
Vici Gaming just ran away and then fought outside of it. Managed to bring down, well, they didn't actually bring down the Bristleback, but managed to kind of deter him from chasing and getting the most out of that haste rune. Vici Gaming, though, for now, still in a pretty strong position. Up by 5,000 gold, but it hasn't really been increasing, and the experience is dead even between the two teams. It's been a bit of a back and forth over the last 5 to 10 minutes.
I guess that's because they're getting about equal kills in the team fights, whereas the gold has to do more on farming. So that's probably the main reason for that. Almost a Blade Mail on Clockwork. He's going to need that. He's been kind of dying a couple times, 1, 4, and 2 on Bone 7, but I'm sure he can clean things up a bit. One of the very few Clockworks that I've seen ever go phase boots here. Most clocks are all about Tranquils lately, or they go brown boots straight into the Blade Mail, but apparently he wants the positioning. Plans on missing the hooks or something?
He doesn't plan for that. Well, so far he hasn't.
Plus damage is really good too. I mean, he hits for over 100 damage right now, and you have Troll Warlord increasing your attack speed, so it's actually really synergistic.
It's very cost-effective damage here. Vici Gaming now going to go on the move here. They've got Zeus down bottom lane, looking to push out things here with this tier 1 tower, taking a bit of damage, but the rest of the Vici Gaming team missing off the map for now, and it looks like they're going to run into Eternal Envy. Omni Slash will bring him down with ease. The Zeus ulti also being used to scout out any possible follow-up kills, but not going to go the way of Vici Gaming.
You could tell they didn't really know where the Vici Gaming team was, and they pop up. Maybe they were expecting, they're all hiding under the Zeus. They started positioning towards where the Zeus was, but really good movement by them. They didn't go for the obvious position. They thought, well, if there's somebody coming this way, it's likely to be a straggler. Maybe he'll be over in this area, and they catch the hard carry. That was a huge pick-off. Cost them a smoke, but I think that was worth it at this stage of the game.
They also scattered out one of the Observer Wards of Cloud9's, and it looks like they're not going to get the other one down near this bottom lane. But they took some damage on this ward, didn't actually clear it out, but they know it's there now, and looks like XII actually going to continue to get a lot of farm allocation on this Zeus. He was taking the bottom lane farm, now getting the top lane. He is the least farmed of the Vici Gaming cores, as you'd kind of expect, but the other cores are creating space for him. Whenever Hao has Omni Slash, he's joining up with his team and going for those kind of smoke plays.
And his levels are really high too, which is significant. And his items are very early game focused. We don't see a lot of Zeus's by Force Staff lately, but because he got it so fast, it just means that even if Clockwork does catch somebody, now they've got Rubik Lift, and they have Fissure, and now they have a Force Staff. So there's a lot of difficulty for Bone7 to do a good job this game, if he does even catch somebody. So I like the itemization there. He'll go for a Yules afterwards. That'll give them some team fight disruption. Probably very useful for Fada. Fada's chasing everybody down, lift him in the air, especially if he gets any more of those pesky pastes.
For now, Cloud9 just going to look to bunker down on their side of the map. Envy has picked up an Ogre Club, which I don't think is going to be for the Sergeant Yacht. I think at this point he's going to recognize he needs a BKB. As Cloud9 gets scouted out by the Zeus ultimate, and some deep wards of theirs also get spotted by that Zeus ultimate. So from there, Vici Gaming can kind of plan their next moves, which for now don't seem to be all that aggressive.
Yeah, it's just a little too hard for him to do damage with a Fissure and a Lift and Shrapnel and all that stuff. I would really like him to get a Manta maybe this game to give him some survivability against Omni Slash, but it's just tough to get there. Might see an engagement here.
Yeah, Cloud9 on the move, looking to time things after that Zeus ultimate has been used. They know it's on cooldown, and Vici Gaming don't have that scouting and teamfight tool at their disposal. See some wards planted defensively from Vici Gaming. Both teams posturing around this bottom lane, but it's XII up top. He's ready to look to rotate in should he be needed. That's Fata pressuring the tier 1 tower. He's going to sniper on him with a Mask of Madness. So there's the TP from the Zeus, and have to see hookshot on the backlines. They've caught super out with this one. The follow-up damage not there with the 4-star, pushing him away, and Bone7 in blade now will get taken up by the Omni Slash. Nice Echo Slam from FY. Does okay damage, but they've got to deal with the Bristleback, and with the Supernova there, Vici Gaming getting torn apart. Fenrir is next. He's going to get off a Finger of Death, but it's not enough to kill Fata. How's all that's left standing? And that's a dead Juggernaut. Without mana, he's not getting out of that, and Sniper bought back, assassinate.
Ooh.
Bang. Takes out Lion.
I don't know if that's going to give him the gold back there. It cost him about 700 gold for a buyback there, so
another
team
team wipe.
500.
Cloud9 executing so well around the Supernova. This time, Bone7 on point with the hookshot in. Even if the 4-star did push the Sniper out of that, it was already Sniper too low in HP and just getting swarmed upon.
Yeah, the great egg, though. There was too much stuff going on. Really good explanation of what Bristleback and Clockwork give for the Phoenix. Nobody touched him. He lands a stun, does damage during the whole thing, and right after, bam, gets another Fire Spirits, which should not be underestimated. It's such a second wind for that hero. It's already a great skill, but if you get 2 of them, man, it just steamrolls you.
If you go for the Supernova, then the Bristleback and everyone else is just tearing you apart. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And right now, Vici Gaming lose a lot of their lead. It's back to a even net worth game and experience. Yep, it's Cloud9 favored now. Still Bone7 in a bit of a rough spot. He's 1-5, but he has been getting some good initiations out of these hook shots.
So the Radiant team gonna probably get some map control, I guess. Maybe farm the Blink Dagger on Earthshaker. He's actually decently far away. Went for a very rare Arcane Boots. We don't see this very often on Earthshakers lately. We've been seeing a lot of Tranquil Boots on support. I think that item is going to get nerfed soon. The armor is just too good, I think.
See what Super goes next as well. He's up to 2,600 gold. Does feel like a BKB game.
I think he's going to go down. Yes, Earthshaker once all the way in. It's like, oh, hell no.
Nice.
Not in front of me. I mean, he had to egg there. He was about to get bursted down. He's already gotten killed multiple times as he's initiating, so he was ready to press the button, and didn't quite save him.
Yeah, I think from there, you've got Phoenix, his ultimate will be almost back up by the time he respawns, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal as far as he's concerned. Vici Gaming looking to de-ward some of the map here. They're going to scout an Observer ward here near the high ground.
It's pretty interesting. C9 has had a large amount of wards covering the Roshan pit all game. That's pretty much the only place they've had all of this map control and this map vision, all that stuff. It is so much detection.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. We're logged off of Steam now, Kevin. To avoid the spam message.
I was getting some of those too.
I was getting some. There was nothing embarrassing. Yeah, I was like, okay, thigh-high socks. Like, that's not too bad. But I know what's coming next, which is something we want to avoid. As soon as the Twitch chat hordes realize it's exposed, I'm like, okay, I gotta focus down now. Now we can focus on Dota. We can focus on, right now, the Cloud9 comeback.
They're not terribly far behind. They definitely want some good team fights. It's actually an equal game in terms of GPM and XPM, so I'm not too concerned for them. What is our smoke counters like? Looks like they have one ready to go. Oh, we have a really fast Scotty here on Juggernaut.
Yeah, both Jug and Sniper are looking really strong. Bristleback, he's gone for a Crimson Guard, actually, which is a really good item against the physical damage on the VG Gaming side.
Yeah. It's great against Omni Slash as well, actually, because it does damage block every single of those physical. That Toke Shot comes in.
But a well-placed fissure. This Bone 7's cut off from the rest of his team because of that fissure, but then they're not going to focus him down. Instead, it's a full-blown retreat here with Jug already up the top lane, no TP available. VG Gaming say, yeah, we could kill the clock, but that Bristleback may find all kinds of kills if we look to stick around and take that fight.
So for now, they just farm the jungle. Troll's actually decently high in net worth. Matching, there's basically 4 big farmers this game. Ice, because, you know, he just pretty much ignored his whole team all game, or at least the last 10 minutes, it feels like that. Just sitting top, lightning bolting creeps, and getting a ton of items. Yules and Force Staff up on him. What would you get next on Zeus? Do you think he goes... I feel like most people are just skipping Axe lately on Zeus. They just go Bloodstone or
Bloodstone
or
Refresher seems to be the build for your mid-Zeus, and I don't think going back for a Bloodstone at this point is going to do too much. I think BKB is a possibility. If not BKB, Refresher still seems solid. He doesn't have the best mana pool for Refresher, though, is the main issue.
He does have Soul Ring already, so he definitely could build Bloodstone.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have to build it in that item, but a chase online here, what an easy kill, man. That hero is just...
Had his blink, but the Zeus ultimate canceled the blink, so nice bit of play there by VG
okay.
Gaming. Whoa, hook shot in. I think that was actually bottom lane. Going to be off the mark there. Bone 7 was hunting for that. As Ice is going to make his way back towards the Radiant jungle.
This will come in handy.
Well, they back off. Well, ooh, Bristleback has a ultimate orb.
Yeah, I saw this.
Is this going to be a Scotty on a strength hero? It's not bad. I mean, the item is essentially almost as good on every single hero type as it is. And you don't get a lot of orbs on Bristleback, so you're not losing much there. And the hero is pretty limited by his chase potential. And Nasal Goon, against a lot of fast heroes, really doesn't do enough.
Oh.
They spot him out.
Yep.
He wasn't Viz.
Got a bit too close, and VG Gaming just going to look to siege this tier 2 mid tower. Even after a couple of bad team fights, still feeling confident in what fight, a potential fight they could take near this mid lane.
But is it better to go Scotty over something like an Abyssal Blade?
That's what I was wondering,
You get
too.
750 HP, which is 3 extra quills, which is a lot of AoE damage. And you get attack speed, and you have pretty much unlimited mana, and you guarantee a slow. I mean, in some ways,
It's not great
slows are
against
better.
the Sniper because you're unlikely to be able to get close enough to get the Scotty slow
But if
onto
you
him,
do,
I feel. Then it's
you got him.
Could be amazing.
You've got
yeah.
S and Y and Scotty. Like, if you proc an S and Y on top of that, the guy's actually not getting away from you.
Yeah. Not to
Unless
mention
he
the
forces.
Gua as well, so there's a lot of slows to go with it. Zeus Ultimate comes back online, and see where both teams look to head from here.
Well, Roche is dying pretty fast here.
Oh, there's Zeus Ultimate, scouts him out in the pit, and Cloud9 have to make a decision. Do they commit or do they run? And Vata stuck on the low ground here by himself. Gets kind of isolated, but he does manage to get himself out of there. How going to D-ward around the pit as well.
That was a BKB waste by Super. He really expected the team fight to start, but it was really more of a C9. Leave 2 heroes in. You guys can get out if needed, and that was a big advantage.
It is tough because you're versing a Blink Lion. So if you get Blink Hex and Fingered before you pop your BKB, teamfight is lost. So I think he felt Cloud9 were maybe about to engage. And there's that Blink Hex initiation. They're going to Ice. The hook catches Super. He doesn't get the cogs, though. He gets lifted up in the air, and Bone 7 will go down, even with the Blade Mail, not really doing too much damage. I think they've got to run. They pop the Crimson Guard, but here comes Omni Slash. Supernova being forced out, and that bounce onto your Bristleback. FY has another Fissure Veil. He's walking in for the Echo Slam. Can he get it off? Decent-ish damage. Not going to be enough to bring Vata low. Ice still chasing, has a Yule Scepter, but Vata barely gets to safety.
Man,
that Omni Slash.
The problems this game is just that it's very hard for Clockwork to get a full combo off. The lift there from Rubik was so fast, he just didn't get anything. And even if he does catch the Juggernaut, he spins or Omni Slashes and that's it.
Yeah, he caught the Sniper, and even if he gets the cogs off there, Sniper has the supports force-staffing him out of the cogs, so it felt like it was just too far away from the rest of the team in some ways. Bristleback just doesn't have that instant kind of gap closer like the Clockwork and the Lion do.
It felt like a good hook because they went for the back line as they engaged on the front line, but it's just a really tough Clockwork game. He did start in a 1v1 matchup. Maybe if he got a solo kill or something like that, we could have seen him doing really amazing this game, but he needed to get a big advantage, I think, for Clockwork to do well this game.
And right now, Clockwork's getting countered by a lot of Force stuff. Even Earthshaker not going for the Blink, went for the Force instead. Envy going to BKB TP out of this top lane.
The XII special.
Oh,
Would you like my item,
classic.
please? I'll trade this 2,800 gold item for your life. Come on.
Was that the Yules that he dropped?
Yes, that's an.
I didn't see which item it was. I just saw an item on the ground. I'm like, okay,
That was his most expensive item. He wasn't holding back on his.
Yep.
On this play here.
That was tempting maybe for Envy. It's one of those things you see it and you never know how a player's going to react in the moment to it. So trying to.
It was literally the only way to get him to stop his TP.
Yeah.
So it was very smart.
Well, Vici Gaming in complete map control now, using that Zeus Lightning Bolt to great effect, and vision is something which Cloud9 are lacking, which is a rarity for this team, but only the Clockwork Rocket player able to really scout things out, but Vici Gaming outside of that have complete map control.
And they're pushing towards the mid lane.
Teams are going to take a different tack, though. They're going to send Hal bottom to push and continue farming. He's got 5k gold, so at this point, you're thinking maybe now you don't want to push quite yet. You want to go for, well, I guess you've got the Aegis for some time, but you want to at least pick up Hal's next big item before you go for that high ground siege.
Might as well make a Manta. I mean, he's mostly got agility items here, so his attack speed.
He goes for SMY.
Really?
So
did he buy it, or are you saying he's going to?
He did buy it, yeah.
Interesting. All right, so it's better for chasing, but Manta can remove goo things. You know, if Clockwork jumps on him, it'll give him more heroes to eat up the battery assault. It'll increase his DPS by way more. Like melees with Mantas, if they have a lot of agility items, it's really strong for that. So I feel like Manta's maybe the better option here, but it scales better too. If you get like a butterfly or something, I don't know. It's a bit peculiar. And he grabs a Blink Dagger as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't have mana problems either, so I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the SNY in this case. It does make you a lot faster. It's a whole 6% movement speed difference. So
getting it this late, it feels like something you want to get like as one of your first few items. But for now, Vici Gaming confident now that they spent some money, they can look to break high ground there. Grouping up towards the bottom lane, going for the T2 tower, but elsewhere on the map, Cloud9 pushing towards top lane. Vici Gaming not yet looking to defend this. Zeus is up there with Arc Lightning and looking to at least spam away, but it's a Yule Scepter onto Fado, who went kind of diving in deep here. Bottom lane, meanwhile, How on the high ground, going for the tier 3 tower, and Cloud9 at some point have got to defend.
I mean, Misery's super set up. He's just waiting for the moment. Here come the TPs. They're coming from the side. Does How realize Misery goes in a little late?
Perfect blink timing.
They really needed that Hex there.
Yeah. He does have the Aegis, so if they do bring him down, it's unlikely they kill him twice, especially with an Earthshaker sitting right behind, a Sniper sitting right behind. Both these heroes can dish out a lot of damage, and also just nice slows and counter initiation from either Fissure or Shrapnel. So I don't see that being more than an Aegis kill, but even the Aegis, I think, would have been hard to bring down.
Yeah, it's still scary to teamfight while they do have that. So Phoenix going for a fast BKB here, a bit of an interesting item. Usually when we see a Phoenix grabbing I don't want to get stunned item, or I don't want to get silenced item, it's a Yules, but I guess when you're dealing with an Earthshaker, it's a lot scarier than that.
Yeah. And even just stuff like we've seen the Sniper Assassinate chase him down a few times where it's like, well, I can pop the Supernova defensively, but we want to use this for a team fight, so.
Yeah. And Yules would solve that, but there's just so many stuns and burst nukes from Vici Gaming, it's a lot safer to go for the BKB here. And then he doesn't necessarily have to just use it to panic Supernova. If you get a BKB, you can initiate and you don't have to use your ultimate. You can just jump in, cast your Fire Spirits, let them play out their duration, maybe Sunray, and then you're like, okay, things are a little scary now. My BKB is almost run out. Then you pop the Supernova, if needed. It gives you more to play with. In a lot of ways, it's a lot stronger of an item, defensively, at least on Phoenix.
So we talked a bit about this earlier. The Skadi now complete on Fata, on Bristleback.
Yeah.
Not a conventional item, but gives him a bit of everything, and the slow, I think, is really the X factor here. As Jug blinks forward, just going to look to scare him back.
Yeah. If anything, I'm surprised we don't see more Scotties on Bristleback, because it does give you, it's a hybrid damage and tanky item, and the hero is naturally somebody that wants tank and HP.
It's all built into one slot, because otherwise you'd get like a plate mail mixed in with some HP item.
Yeah.
And the benefit of this item is that it's one item, fills one slot, is great even 60, 70 minutes in the game, so it's never an item you have to replace.
Yeah, gives you like 4 or 5 armor, 750 HP. It's really good. Maybe too strong, dare I say. A lot of people are buying Scotties.
So Aegis has expired now, and that's kind of going to give Cloud9 some breathing room, because as long as the Aegis was up, they didn't want to fight, they wanted to just delay the push, and Vici Gaming did not get a lane of Rax during the Aegis timing. So I find it unlikely they're going to go for another push until they've got the next Roshan, or they find a big key pickoff on Cloud9's side.
Well, they found Misery looking for the solo kills. If they had one person shut or ship over, they could go for a kill. I like a lot of sports that do this. They sit themselves up, fight bottom.
Yep, they're going in here. Howard in the front lines has an Omni-Slash available. It's Big Daddy No-Tell who can just pop Supernova. Just
Good
back
patience.
off here. Just a BKB use on Phoenix.
It was a 3v2 there. His chances of getting the kill if he Nova wasn't going to happen. It was basically just Bristleback reacting to a gank.
Yeah.
So it was good they didn't go for that.
From here, Vici Gaming. Going to pick up an ultimate orb on XII. We theory crafted what possible items could come out, and it looks like Scythe of Vice is going to be the selection here for Zeus.
They're kind of lacking on range disables. Like they have Fissure and they have Lift, but that's it. And both of those are on pretty long cooldowns. So I think a Hex is a good idea here. He doesn't have a Blink to initiate, but he could always Force and Hex.
Yep.
So if they can initiate on Troll like that and blow him up, it would be really beneficial.
And even someone like a Rubik can Blink Lift to initiate, and the Hex could
Yeah.
be the follow-up chain disable.
Totally
perhaps.
right. That would be pretty good. How's Bone 7 doing? He's Bind Bracers. He's got 1,400 HP. It's pretty decent. The Ghost Scepter is going to help a lot. Now he can initiate and doesn't have to worry about too much. It's going to take a lot from Zeus Burst, but if his Blade Mill's on, that's okay. So I like his item build this game. It's really good.
It's been a tough game for Clockwork, but the two big team fights Cloud9 won where they got those team wipes was a lot of his initiations coming into play. Oh, they're going to find Fatih here at bottom. He's got a lot of armor. He's tanky, but he's surrounded by 3-4 heroes, and this is what Jug can do best. He's even going to Omni-Slash to commit for. I think he started getting worried about Cloud9 initiating in there. It wasn't probably needed, but he wanted to play things safe.
That was a lot of damage. I think he was actually hitting Bristleback's side there, not his back, so that's why he was doing so much at the beginning. And then at the final few moments, that was just a Bristleback back hit. So
Envy in position to split push. This looks to be the Cloud9 option as far as defending, because that is a dead Bristleback for 1 minute without buyback.
Radiant's top tower
oh my
is
god,
under
the
attack.
blink comes.
You battle trance and suddenly VG are like, we got to get back. That's a battle
this is
trance
serious.
control. Yeah. It's like, is he really split pushing? Okay, he used battle trance. We're TPing.
I like how we're saying that it's a 30-second ability. Like that's how you have to deal with the ability. You're like, oh, okay, this is getting serious. We should not throw our advantage away.
Envy, as soon as he used battle trance, blinked out as well. He's like, okay, job's done. I forced those TPs.
Yeah. Blink is actually a really good troll item, though. The hero sometimes has trouble gap closing, especially when he doesn't go for a Scotty build. He instead opted for BKB. He would probably like to get it eventually, but if you can't slow them guaranteed, Troll has issues chasing. So getting the blink is really nice. You can jump in, blind the people you want to, go in the support right at the start of the fight. You can guarantee that 2 to 3 seconds of your BKB spent running in isn't going to have to be dealt with by a fissure blocking your path or any stuns catching you.
Yeah. Syndra does nicely with Clockwork initiation too, because the few times we've seen him go in, even if the fight went okay for Cloud9, Bone 7 would be stranded on his own for some period of time.
So he can always back him up at least. Quite a lot of mobility actually on C9 if you think about it. Only person lacking mobility is going to be Bristleback.
Do you think Bristleback goes for like Abyssal next? Is he going for big damage? Because he's got 3k HP. Or does he go like more armor? Is going to help a bit against the Jug?
AC would help a lot versus the Juggernaut.
This will come in handy.
And it also increases his damage by a pretty big amount, but he is still going to be taking a lot from Zeus. One of the downsides of the Scotty build in this case is that more HP is still making Zeus pretty happy because his passive does damage based on your total HP.
Yeah.
So, or your current HP, I believe.
And attack speed is not something they're lacking with the Battle Trance. Just watching
Yeah,
him there, like
good
with
point.
Battle Trance, I was like, okay, he doesn't really need AC for attack speed. It would be purely for the armor.
In which case, it might just be better to get a Shiva's, actually.
Yeah.
I dare say. It doesn't... He gets a lot more damage from AC, but the minus attack speed on the Radiant team would hurt in 2 ways. It would also stop the egg from dying as fast. So, and there's not that much attack speed on VG Gaming. It's basically just Sniper and the Jug. The rest of the heroes are really weak. If you get a Shiva's Guard against those kind of heroes that don't get attack speed, it really limits their attack speed.
That fast respawn. Right after the Zeus ultimate as well. Vici Gaming may not be responding in time to this. They've got no way to really reliably scout this out. They've got Hao at top lane with a double damage room, but dead Roche.
They took their time with it too. They're like, do you want this cheese? Okay.
They just knew the timing of, they could see Hao at top lane. So there's no Jug and no tower. He also has no TP scroll on top of that, but they knew there was no Zeus ultimate. They got scouted out in the Radiant jungle, they back off, and then suddenly it's like, oh, Roche is waiting for us. Great, let's go. That was a bit of fortune going Cloud9's way for sure.
That'll help them a lot here.
If Vici Gaming get that Aegis, I think it's possibly a lane of Rax.
Yeah.
Most likely a lane of
The
Rax.
fights are definitely scary here for C9 as they continue.
And that was Cheese this time, so Bristleback, we saw how hard he was to kill in that last fight. I don't think they can chain stun him and prevent him using this cheese.
I don't think so either. Unless it's to the face maybe and their whole team is hitting him and they do a full chain stun.
Yep.
That's maybe the only way I see it happening. So it's kind of like having 2 Aegis here. That's one of the most beneficial heroes to have a cheese on because any damage that you take is being reduced in the first place. So the cheese gives double benefit in a lot of ways compared to a typical hero. So we'll see if they can start a good fight. That's definitely what C9 needs to do, but Vici Gaming very wisely is just doing a lot of 5-manning.
It's a bit of an odd smoke from Cloud9 especially. They've got 3 heroes and none of their big carries or damage deals. If anything, they want to be smoking towards either Bristleback or Juggernaut right now. Does look like bottom lane is maybe where they're going. Blink, 4-staff, there's a fissure here. Envy.
Everybody else is really far.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Alpha Wolf.
Oh, and Mimo from the low gun. They get caught out. Bone 7 gets brought down as well as No Tail. Oh boy, that blink in from Juggernaut causing all kinds of problems. Assassinate.
That's not good.
Goes forward as well.
I thought it was a intended C9 initiation, and all of a sudden they were just dead. They died so fast. That wasn't even an Omni Slash.
They also should have known Vici Gaming were there because Envy was getting chased down from behind by an Earthshaker. So
and he was really stretching it. They're not going to stretch it like that unless they have a lot of heroes in the area.
This low ground position is just the worst place to be when your opponents have the high ground right above you and can see you and have blink daggers ready to go.
Shrapnel being put down. Fodder's really slow now.
Buybacks are available, but at this point, you don't really want to be chewing through that money, especially when you're just 10 seconds away from
he's got Misery. Oh my god, he does so fast. That was a great read from Super, though.
We're going to blink in Eternal Envy here. They're going to buy back the Phoenix. 5 seconds still on the clock working. As a result, Cloud9 not going to get anything immediately off of this. They want Hao, who does not have the Aegis in hand, and Super on the Sniper. Sitting back, doing a decent amount of damage. The Supernova's already used, and Cloud9 didn't really get too much out of that.
Man, Eternal Envy just got Sanjin Yasha procced with the Scotty. It looked like he was slowed. He was completely slowed. He couldn't do anything at that point. He initiated, but the force was all it took for him to get away. It's really tough here. If Misery isn't alive to do a chain stun and guarantee that Envy can just melee hit somebody about 8 times in a row, then they're just going to get away. The ranged hits from Troll are just a bit too weak here, and he needs to guarantee some disable.
Even spells like Finger of Death being missing. Like that's your single target burst damage, which Bristleback doesn't really provide. Troll can if he's locked onto someone and they're not getting full stuffed around, but that's just not been the case. Phoenix and Clockwork are just not really dishing out any damage. They're just offering control in these team fights.
Yeah, they're really helping a lot. That was such a good read, though. They were like, I bet you Lion is hiding over here in the trees. Bam, drop the Shrapnel, immediate blink, Omni Slash. And they're like, okay, we can win a team fight now. Because that's most of the disable that C9 has. That's easily, I would say, other than losing a carry, like, Lion is the hero that you need to keep alive. So, grabs a gem, they're going to be dewarding now. That will give them some good map control. They won't necessarily have to smoke for ganks, in the short term at least. But, man, they still have a tier 1 up in the mid lane. That is really dangerous. That's like the closest point from their base to the enemy base. And with the Zeus ulti, they know where everybody is. They're going to put a bolt down.
Envy wants his tier 1, maybe. His battle trances forward. Doesn't actually go for the tower. Instead, just going to take out the creep wave and decide this is not a fight we want to take. Sniper, by the way, has a Skull Basher.
Okay, new meta.
10% bash chance when you have Mask of Madness SMY. I guess this is the way to go.
And it goes through BKB, does it not? So I mean, he can actually just keep Troll from doing anything in a fight.
There are ranged heroes in general never build Basher for an item in itself. And I don't really feel like this is that much for the... I mean, he'll get the Abyssal eventually, which will be nice against a Troll or a Bristleback. I feel like in some ways the Basher on its own is still like an okay-ish item for a Sniper to have.
Yeah, it's 40 damage for 3,000 gold. It's not the best trade-off, but they are buying a lot of Bashers actually. But if you're committing to the Skull Basher, I think you might as well just get the Abyssal, because it's giving you an extra 60 damage. It's not super effective for the active, so you're losing some synergy there. But imagine if those melee heroes ever get up to Sniper. He's like, oh, by the way, I bought him this Abyssal just in case. Dunk goes in.
Echo Slam. They're trying to hit him from behind with the Sniper, but I think they've got more than enough with Hao, who's in the front.
They stole Battle Trance.
Oh, boy. Hook shot. Forward. Zeus goes charging in, but...
That was pretty funny.
Okay.
He bolted the ground. He's like, he's going to be here because his TP thing is. Then he yules himself. So Aegis is gone now. They're running away. No cheese was used. Fada just died there. And this is looking like Vici Gaming is just getting the game out of control. They have so many items now. And I feel like the Troll and the Bristleback are just much more limited in what they can do. Omni Slash as well as Sniper just being super far range is just a really big advantage for Vici Gaming. Plus they have Bashers. Like, how do you beat that?
it just feels like VG Gaming have too many damage sources as well. Both Sniper and Jug can bring down any hero outside the Bristleback easily on their own. Zeus with percent-based damage from Static Field in the late game. That's where Bristleback is not all that scary. Similarly story for your Troll Warlord. On Cloud9's side, it just doesn't feel like Fata's dishing out damage in teamfights anymore. He's just purely tanking it up in the front lines, slowing maybe someone down with a Scotty, but he's not actually getting kills for his team.
Hook shot in, it's going to catch the Juggernaut, keeping him in place. He does get forced though. Fidger comes through to stop him.
These 4 staffs just causing Cloud9 all sorts of problems to get kills. They're going with a Phoenix dive, but no Supernova to follow initially. FY taking heavy damage on the front lines, but he's going to Ghost Scepter up, assassinate, Misery, brought down, drops the gem. And Hal now blinks in. We'll get that insta-bash on Phoenix. No buyback available, and VG Gaming may just go for a second melee Rax here in the mid lane. Buyback from Troll Warlord. Envy gets blink, lifted up. Is there a Hex from Size? Not available for 12 seconds, but the Omni Slash will be more than enough. Perfect Chain Stun coming into play. The blink back now comes out, and VG Gaming looking like game 1 is theirs.
No kidding. Troll dying back there, didn't get to use the BKB either time, and just got dropped. And VG Gaming is certainly not going to stop. Do they still have Battle Trance? They did not. They called good game. That's it for game 1. VG Gaming just completely overpowering C9 in the mid to late game. They had good heroes, and there just wasn't that much that C9's cores could do to compensate for that, I felt. Like Bone 7, what is he supposed to do against all these anti-clock heroes?
Yeah, they not only have all these anti-clockwork heroes, but they also itemize with 4 stuffs all across the board. Yeah. Heroes like Earthshaker, who traditionally go for a blink dagger over the 4 staff, said, nope, going for first time 4 staff. Zeus, first time 4 staff as well. There was never really any way to actually keep heroes in place, or you initiate it, even when you got the hook and the cogs off, the hero would just be pushed back to safety.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, Force was always the tried and true clockwork method counter, but we don't see it as much as often lately. I feel like people are prioritizing other items instead, like Yules and things like that, but this game was like the demonstration, like, oh yeah, that's right, Force is still a really good item because they couldn't simply initiate ever. They didn't get the, they weren't able to get the kills that they needed to. They couldn't keep people by the Phoenix eggs. The Phoenix felt useless that game in most cases, except for like 1 or 2 team fights. Even Bristleback was like, well, maybe you should pick somebody with a stun next time because this really, it did really well when you had a haste ring and we had low mobility, but once we got our items together, like, we just stunned you and slowed you and got our S&Y Scotty, like, you're not moving. Like, you can't do anything.
It seemed teams have an idea of what to do against Cloud9 now, especially with Fata. You ban out the Beastmaster, they took the Zeus for themselves, and as a result, Cloud9 just didn't really have access to their normal kind of comfort zone of heroes, which maybe led to, I mean, led to a Fata Bristleback pick, which is, to me, a hero which he played amazingly well on, but especially some of those early fights where he tried to go in, he just got completely shut down. Sniper, it keeps winning games today.
It's a good hero, man. It just kills supports. We saw even Misery and No Tail die many times due to the fact of the super range that he had. No pun intended, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. But just dropping shrapnels, tons of physical damage with a Zeus ulti. Like, it's like a super powered sniper. Even if he wouldn't have been able to get the kill by himself, that extra 225 magic damage from the Zeus made the difference. So they abused it.
Well, guys, before we go to a break, we're actually got a bit of an interview with Hal. This is from before this Best of 3 series began, but we're going to let you guys know VG Gaming's thoughts coming into this series.
Well, hello, back again here. Here with me, Kelly from Manager Team Alliance, and Hal from VG Gaming. Hi there.
Hi.
Well, this is your first LAN with your new team. Do you like playing for VG Gaming, and do you like the atmosphere and everything?
喜欢和喜欢在队里的气氛吗？哦，我喜欢，其实，在 VG 挺好的，气氛还蛮好的，所以跟他们一起打的，就是说比较轻松，所以这也是取得成绩的一个关键吧。
He actually says that the team is very relaxed. He has a very good atmosphere in the team. His team has a very good atmosphere. And that actually leads to them playing in a more relaxed way. And that is also their key to winning now because they are more calm as a team since the atmosphere is very stable and good right now.
And speaking about this event, among the teams that are present here, is there anyone special that you can point out that is the most dangerous for you for the play style of VG Gaming?
对于对危机的玩法，最危险的队伍对你们会是什么？
哦，就
针对你们吧。
就是对我们队伍最有威胁的，
对，
是
克你们的队伍。
哦，克我们。我觉得没有队伍能克我们吧。其实我们的对手是自己，就是说只要心态放好一点，然后 阵容选的就不说比别人差太多吧，5-5开，我觉得以我们队的实力，就是说我是个队友的一个发挥了说，我相信我们能赢任何一个队伍。
There is no team that they feel that has like a huge advantage over them, and he feels that the biggest opponent is actually themselves. He also feels that at their point, whenever they lose, it's probably because of themselves. And he also said that as long as they have a good attitude going into the game, as well as having him Hao right now in the team, that means that he can make more space, he can do more stuff, and that leads to the team being pretty much unstoppable right now. He says he feels that no one has like a real good strategy to counter them.
Well, thank you. And your upcoming game is versus Team Cloud9. So you had yesterday parallel matches. Well, did you have time to study the replay of their game versus Team Tinker? And what do you think about them?
其实都马上就要打 C9了。其实，在打 C9之前，我们一直也看了他们的录像和他们的一个搬 pick 的一个思路跟一个选人的一个方式。然后我们今天也会有所针对。然后我相信，我们会赢吧。但是我觉得他们也是一个实力非常强大的一个对手，所以我们不会掉以轻心。但是我们只会就是说做好每一步。我们该做的，然后争取这个比赛能战胜他们。
Since they are playing C9 next, they have actually pretty much studied a lot of videos and replays of them doing ban picks, so they're gonna focus on drafting a lot. He says that even though that's happening, they would never underestimate C9 because C9 is a very strong team.
Well, thank you. And this game, upcoming game, gonna be on stage. Unlike your previous one, is that a big difference for you to play off stage or on stage?
有没有什么不一样感觉？
就是这个比赛吗？
没有，通常上台跟下台打比赛的时候，在台下跟台上打比赛，感觉有没有什么不一样？
在台上跟台下，比起，就是说昨天我们在台下，现在在打哦。其实我觉得在台上可能我会发挥的比在台下可能会好一点，因为我比较喜欢就是说，对，在台上那种气氛就是说，比较热闹一点。然后我本来就不喜欢，就是很闷的，在一个很闷的场合打比赛，因为我就是说就平时我们打线上的比赛，我可能发挥的都不算太好，但是我就是说比较喜欢这种线下的气氛，可能就是那种，就是正因为那种气氛，让我的那种把我的斗志就是说激发出来，所以我发挥的更好一点，所以我是比较喜欢在场上打比赛。
I think what Hao just answered me can pretty much answer for what all pro gamers would answer to this question. Definitely playing on stage is better because of the atmosphere and it's more exciting. That pushes him to do like more crazy stuff and that pushes him to play better. And he definitely feels that, playing on stage is better. And he feels that playing off stage is kind of like playing an online game because there's no crowd. And he says the crowd is the reason why you want to become a pro gamer.
Oh, yeah. I see. And I could not stand from asking you about this. I called it question of the day. This announcement from Valve about the major Dota 2 championship. So what do you think about that?
新的联赛，你觉得联赛怎样？对选手而言？
我今天在来赛场的路上已经看了就知道了那个消息。我觉得那个消息，非常的好。其实我本来的意思就是说，打完今年我就会退役的，但是因为有这样一个新的模式，可能或许我还可以再打1年吧。但是计划赶不上变化，这个打完 TI5再做决定吧。
As a pro gamer, of course he feels very excited about the upcoming tour circuit. He was actually thinking of retiring after TI this year. Wow. Yeah, but after reading the news, he would probably consider continuing playing and he would probably decide if he will after TI this year.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. Thank you so much, Kelly, for helping with translation. And we're going back to our Dota experts.